Hello and welcome to this edition of the RIMS 2014 Sedgwick Find Your Voice video series. My guest today is Steve Penman. Steve, thanks for being with me.
It's my pleasure, Jonathan.
Steve, I've been seeking advice from other Sedgwick executives about this year's RIMS conference, and I know you have a rich history in technology, and so you're just the person to ask. How do I transport all my Bitcoins that I need to spend at RIMS this year in my luggage?
Transport your Bitcoins. You do realize that Bitcoins aren't something that you carry with you. They're digital currency.
Digital currency, you say? What does that mean then?
Well, first of all, it means that you don't transport them, you access them. But before you even dig deeper into that, I'd find out whether the concession stands are even accepting them at RIMS.
Okay, well, we need to get back to that in a minute, but Steve, do you have something tangible to talk about for RIMS 2014 for our viewers?
Certainly. I think the most important preparation for RIMS, anyone who attends, is to engage in meaningful conversation. Our theme this year is finding your voice, which to me means just that. It's having effective communication, and I've always found that within this industry there's no better place than RIMS to have those conversations. I found over my years that anytime you get a chance to engage a risk manager in a conversation, ask them what it is that keeps them up at night, it never fails that you'll learn one or two things that you might not have thought about, and more likely than not, they lead to thinking about how we could help in those areas. And frankly, that's how Sedgwick has built many of their services and offerings that we have today, is just by listening and engaging in those kind of conversations. So that would be my advice to anyone who attends the conference.
Now, Steve, that makes a lot of sense. Communication is a broad subject, but anything more specific?
Yes. As you know, we dedicated our entire leadership conference this year to the theme of finding your voice. And we spent several days with our colleagues talking about effective communication, specifically with clients, on how we communicate their programs, their trends, the opportunities that we see, how we communicate with our colleagues about their performance and their responsibilities, and more importantly than ever for us, their future, helping to grow new leaders. And recently we've turned a lot of our attention and resource to how to communicate more effectively with claimants. We have found that the earlier in the process we engage a claimant in meaningful communication about what they face in navigating the complex workers' comp system or their employer's disability plans, and the better informed we keep them, makes for a much better outcome on the claim and a much less traumatic experience for the claimant. So we've done things over the last year or two, significant investment of our IT resource in finding ways to push information to those claimants about the status of their claims or their payments, helping to keep them educated on where they are in the process, and then most recently unveiled an app that claimants can now download and use to check on the current status of their claim, or to easily facilitate communication with their examiner. Which, by the way, Business Insurance felt the need to award us an innovation award for, which tells me we're on the right track.
So, you're saying there's an app for that, but technology alone doesn't answer all our clients' and employers' needs, right, Steve?
That's correct. It's still a business that involves human beings, and we try to ensure that all of our adjusters and folks take the time to have meaningful conversations with claimants as well, helping to explain the process to them so they're not surprised, and most importantly, helping to explain to them and educate them on the physicians who can help treat the injury or illness that they have. Another investment we made over the years was in a benchmarking tool that helps us rate physicians based on the outcomes, quantifiable outcomes. And sharing that information with the claimants helps them feel a little more comfortable that they're getting the right medical treatment, which is what we all want, helping them to return to work a lot sooner.
Steve, you keep raising the bar with all of this great content. You need to pace yourself and save some of that for RIMS, okay? But we want you to find your voice with us at booth 607 at RIMS this year. You can also visit www.sedgwick.com prior to that and find all our great information about what we're going to be doing this year. Before we go, I want to get back to this Bitcoin thing. You're saying it's digital, so what did I exactly bring along then if I didn't bring Bitcoins?
Well, I'd suggest you have some cash. And on the Bitcoins, I would do a little more research before you delve too deeply into those. There's a lot of confusion, and the IRS is also weighing in with a couple of definitions that you might find interesting.
So you're saying that these aren't real Bitcoins?
No, but they look delicious.
Well, Steve, thanks for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you at RIMS 2014.